Thank you for tuning in and welcome back, team. In today's episode of Real Estate Facts, you'll learn 10 rules for working with real estate agents. My name is Andrew Finney, your real estate geek. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Thank you. Okay, team, so let's talk about the next 10 rules about how best to work with real estate agents. There's a lot of misconceptions out there sometimes, and people don't always know the rules or the etiquette, and that's okay. That's why you're watching this video. That's why you clicked on it. And in today's episode, you'll have the following 10 points that keep in mind as you proceed with buying your new home, or if you're selling your home, okay? So the first one is to please understand that real estate agents actually work on commission. Most real estate agents do work on commission only. Not all agents, in fact, very few agents are actually on a salary. Because most real estate agents get paid a commission, if they don't close a transaction, that means they don't get paid. So please consider that whenever you're thinking about how you're going to look at homes or you're going to sell a home. Consider the fact that they work on commission, and by virtue of working on commission, they're going to work very, very hard for you. At the same time, they're also going to be making sure they're working with people that are actually transaction ready and not people that are just playing around and might be, years and years away from buying or selling a home. So the second thing is to keep appointments on time. I mean, I'm sure that you can think of a time probably somewhat recently where somebody stood you up for an appointment, or somebody stood you up or was late to an appointment, and how did that make you feel? I mean, just think about it. If you're working as a professional capacity and you're a trusted real estate advisor and you set a time to meet up with somebody and then they don't show up, that means that they have booked that time for you to show up and you didn't, when they could have been meeting with somebody else that was ready to meet at that time, and they didn't want to overbook. So I mean, it's something to really think about, because it's not cool to get stood up. I mean, just think about the last time that happened to you and how did it make you feel. It's not cool. So please do keep your appointments on time, and if you're not going to be on time, then make a simple phone call, a text message, and let the agent know, hey, I'm on my way, I'm running a few minutes behind, and I'll get there in the next 5-10 minutes, or whatever the case may be. Or if you just all out need to reschedule, then give a courtesy call to go ahead and reschedule if that's the case. The third rule is actually choosing a real estate agent to work with and sticking with them. And the reason that I say that is because there's different ways that people find agents. Sometimes people just click on agents randomly on Zillow or what have you, and then they click on a different agent on Zillow or whatever. Then they click on another one, and then they click on another one. And then they wonder why they're getting all these phone calls, emails, text messages, or whatever. Well, you just clicked 4 different agents, and 4 different agents are trying to help you and answer your question. So if you're going to decide that you're ready to buy a home, choose an agent. Make sure that you read those reviews. You check out those ratings. You check out their credentials and check out their past sales performance. I've made a couple of videos now about how to pick a real estate agent. And of course, you can always reach out to me if you need help finding a top agent where you live. I'm happy to help you out with that. But keep in mind that whenever you're doing that, and once you have chosen an agent to work with, please make sure that you're not contacting other agents about property. If an agent has become unresponsive or not responding to you in a timely manner, then maybe the agent isn't the right agent for you, and you should be finding a different agent altogether if that's the case. That's why it goes back to the importance of making sure that you're working with a top agent in your area, or at least ways an agent that you're very comfortable with, and you have double checked the ratings and reviews, and you Google that agent. So, and keep in mind, by the way, whenever you go to choose an agent, that it really is a two-way street. Your agent is also going to choose whether they want to work with you or not. So it is a two-way street. Getting involved in the real estate process is pretty interesting. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. We get to know you extremely well, and we're going to work hard to make sure that we help you find a home or help you sell your home. So it's a matter of having a common respect for each other and also working well together, okay? So then the fourth rule is not to call the listing agent if you have your own buyer agent. And the reason I bring that up, it goes back to that Zillow call and everything else a moment ago. It's very, very frustrating. People call me on Zillow sometimes, and they say, oh, I already have an agent, but I was wondering X, Y, and Z. I'm like, okay, well, why didn't you contact your agent? Well, I didn't want to bother my agent. Really? That's our job as a real estate agent. If you have a question about a property, pick up the phone, pick up a text message, whatever the case may be, and contact the agent that's representing you. If you make a call or a text message or an email inquiry to another agent that's on Zillow or something like that, then you might as well expect for them to pursue you until they find out what this real situation is, and for them to continue following up with you, because why would you contact an agent unless you needed help with buying a property, right? So something to think about, it's something to consider. It's a common mistake that a lot of people make. So once you've selected the agent that you want to work with, make sure you stay in strong communication with that agent. Don't contact the listing agent on another property. Don't contact another agent to help you buy, or contact another agent on a property you might see on Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com or something. If you have an agent, contact your agent. Again, if you're not getting the service that you want from that agent, maybe they're not the right agent for you, and you should be closing out that relationship to begin it anew with somebody else. Something to think about, okay? So then the fifth rule is actually to practice good open house etiquette. So with open house etiquette, at different parts of the country, it might be something that's not exactly common practice to go by yourself. In some different parts of the country, it may be a little bit frowned upon if you don't have your real estate agent with you. Other parts of the country, like maybe Las Vegas, you can just go into an open house if they're hosting it, take your agent's card with you, and let them know that you're working with an agent, and they really won't think too much about it. At the same time, if you want your real estate agent with you, then give them a call and let them know that you would like to attend the following open houses, and they'll go with you. So it's pretty simple, but be polite, be respectful, and don't ask too many questions of the listing agent. If you already have an agent, then just contact your agent with the questions that you may have about that property, and ask your agent to follow up with the listing agent, get the answers to your questions, okay? So the sixth one is to always sign a buyer brokerage agreement. A buyer brokerage agreement simply formalizes the relationship between you and the agent that you have decided to work with. It'll spell out the terms in the contract of what's expected of you and what's expected of them, right? You'll know all your financial numbers, if they have broker transaction fees, broker administrative commissions, what have you, or if there's any additional commission that needs to be paid for their brokerage minimum commission, you'll know that there. It is important to note, why I'm talking about commission, that the majority, if not all of the commission, is generally paid for by the seller. So you're not going to be out any of that normally for a real estate agent, so long as that commission meets their broker minimum. The other thing that you do need to plan for is the broker transaction fee or broker administrative commission. And many parts of the country, that ranges between $350 to $1,000. So it's just talk to your agent about this stuff up front. In addition to getting that buyer brokerage agreement, you want all your full disclosures and buyer disclosures, so you have all of that stuff done up front, and you have a chance to start reading through all of that, asking questions of your agent so that you better understand the process going forward. That's why it's ideal to always set a buyer consultation meeting up front before you look at one single home, before you do anything. It's always wise to go ahead and have that conversation up front. So that brings us down to rule number 7, which is to always ask for and sign an agency agreement. So an agency agreement, or at least ways an agency disclosure, is something about, okay, if you're working with me, are you going to be my client, or what are we doing here, right? And if that's the case, let me provide you with what we call fiduciary duties in real estate about what my role is. And it's not even a contract, but it's just as a practice, we have to provide this by law. It's just a disclosure. Our fiduciary duties are best thought of in an acronym as OLDCAR, OLDCAR, in which that we will be obedient, loyal, provide full disclosures, maintain your confidence, give you full accounting, and give you what's called reasonable skill and care. So with that these are our duties to you. So essentially, if it's okay with you that we uphold your best interest and we move forward together, then great. That's what a duties owed is about, okay? So then the 8th thing is to make your expectations known. And with making your expectations known, this goes back to the buyer broker agreement, goes back to if you're going to be interviewing agents and stuff, what things that you want to look for by making your expectation known. What is your timeline? In other words, like let's say that you work 8 to 5, okay? If you work 8 to 5, what is the showing conditions going to look like? What is your expectation as far as how quickly you're going to be able to see homes? If you see a home today on the agent's website, Zillow or whatever, and you have a question about it, what is your expectation as far as a follow-up? Obviously, most agents will be pretty prompt. If you're working with a trusted real estate advisor or a top agent in the area, they're going to be pretty quick on getting back to you with the information that you're looking for. I know as a matter of practice here on the Andrew Finney team and myself in Las Vegas here, whenever somebody contacts me looking for information, I'm very, very prompt. If you contact me now, I'm going to respond almost immediately. If I missed your call, then I'm calling you right back. But keep in mind, going back to working with different clients, you might be in client appointments at the time as well. So maybe saying that a call that same day, or a call within, as soon as possible, so long as it's within by the end of the day, or maybe within an hour and a half, would probably be a good, reasonable expectation. It's also the chance for you to know what days your agent works and what days they take off, so that you guys can work in harmony together with making sure that you guys are getting taken care of, make sure your agent's taken care of, and they can stay well rested and ready to go after the properties that hit the market right away that you're ready to go buy and take a look at. So the next thing is really about communication. You also want to establish clear-cut communication preferences. Do you prefer phone calls? Do you prefer text messages? Do you prefer emails? Do you prefer FaceTime, with Facebook and actually doing FaceTime live video chat? Whatever it is, let us know and identify that up front so that we can communicate in that way with you that's going to be most acceptable and easiest for you as well. I have a whole bunch of different type of clients that I work with right now and have worked with over the past 4.5 or so years. And look, some people are just texters, and that's what they do. Some people are phone callers, that's what they do. Some people like email, that's what they do. Some people like hopping on the FaceTime and having a conversation there. Hey, as a trusted real estate advisor, I'll do whatever it takes to have the type of communication that's comfortable to you, so long as we're communicating, because open and honest communication is essential throughout the real estate process. Whether you're buying or selling, it is the cornerstone of success. So, and then if there's at any time that you're not happy about the way something's moving by working together, let the agent know. Specifically tell them, don't let it fester. Actually just tell them, hey, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with this, or not too happy that I wanted to see this house yesterday, and then it took you 2 days to get back to me about setting an appointment on it, as opposed to at least ways giving me a call back, text, or whatever, right? Preferred method of communication of when we could see it, but the wait 2 days wasn't cool. Then let your agent know and establish clear-cut guidelines going up front, which you would expect. So the ninth thing is don't sign any forms you don't understand. Your trusted real estate advisor will be happy to explain any of the disclosures and buyer disclosures and offer information to you and what it contains. If you have a question about it, ask. Just please ask. Again, trusted real estate advisor will be very, very, very happy to answer any and all questions for you, and make sure that and to make sure that you have complete comfort and confidence of what you're signing and agreeing to. It's just something to really think about there. Now the 10th one is, I saved it for the last because it's kind of the most obvious, and it's being ready to buy. So the 10th rule is be ready to buy, okay? I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. If you're in like home shopping mode or whatever and you just want to dilly-dally, then go dilly-dally at an open house. I mean, seriously. Go to new construction or whatever and look through all that stuff. But whenever it comes time that rubber meets the road and you're ready to actually find your own, that's the time that you want to get involved with an agent. Now, I have made in other videos, and I will reiterate it again. If you're in the home buying process right now and you're planning out buying a home and it might be a year from now, it's absolutely okay to meet up with an agent. Just don't expect to show homes yet. Don't expect to be looking at homes yet unless you're ready to buy. But absolutely start that relationship with that agent. Start learning the home buying process, what's going on in your area. Get set up on the agent's website so that you're getting the most accurate and reliable information possible as listings hit the market, and you can start getting an idea of what's going on in your area and where you really want to be when the time does come. So this has been a video with 10 rules about working with real estate agents. Tell me what you're thinking about this video and what was the one most significant thing to you from this episode that you're going to use the next time that you work with a real estate agent. Tell us about it in the comment section below. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop up my contact information. If you have any questions or if you need help finding a top agent where you live, please let me know. Always love to hear from you. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now, like this video, and share this video around with someone you know is going to be able to help. Thank you so much for watching today, team, and between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Enjoy an amazing day.